Why do good people turn evil? It's a question that has haunted humanity for centuries. We grapple with the chilling reality of seemingly ordinary individuals committing unspeakable acts. How can someone cross that line, transforming from a compassionate human being into a perpetrator of cruelty? The answer, while complex, lies in understanding the powerful forces that can corrupt even the best of us. This is the heart of what I call the Lucifer effect. My fascination with this transformation began with the Stanford Prison Experiment, a study that revealed the chilling ease with which good people can embrace evil. We'll delve into the details of that experiment and others, exploring the psychological mechanisms that underpin this chilling phenomenon. By understanding the psychological processes that contribute to evil, we can better equip ourselves to resist its seductive pull and create a world where such transformations are less likely to occur. This is not just about understanding the monsters among us, it's about recognizing the monster within each of us, the potential for evil that lurks beneath the surface. The question of whether anyone can become a monster is a deeply unsettling one. It challenges our fundamental beliefs about human nature, forcing us to confront the uncomfortable possibility that the line between good and evil is far more permeable than we'd like to believe. The unsettling truth is that, given the right, or rather, wrong set of circumstances, almost anyone is capable of acts they once thought unimaginable. This isn't about absolving individuals of responsibility for their actions. It's about recognizing the immense power of situational forces, social pressures, and psychological manipulation to shape our behavior in profound and often terrifying ways. Think about it this way. Imagine yourself placed in a situation where you're stripped of your identity, subjected to constant surveillance and degradation, and given absolute power over others. Would you be able to resist the allure of that power? These are not hypothetical questions. In the summer of 1971, I conducted an experiment in the basement of the Stanford University Psychology building that would forever change my understanding of human nature. The Stanford Prison Experiment investigated the psychological effects of power and authority on college students. The prisoners were arrested at their homes by real police officers and transported to our simulated prison. The guards were given uniforms and instructed to maintain order. Within hours, the lines between role-playing and reality began to blur. The guards became increasingly aggressive and abusive. The prisoners became passive and withdrawn. The experiment was halted after 6 days due to escalating abuse and psychological toll. It revealed how quickly ordinary individuals can transform into perpetrators of cruelty when given power and anonymity. In the wake of World War II, the world grappled with the horrifying reality of the Holocaust. How could an entire nation participate in such systematic barbarity? These questions motivated Stanley Milgram, a psychologist at Yale University, to conduct a series of experiments. Milgram's obedience studies explored the willingness of ordinary people to obey authority figures. Participants were told they were in a study on learning and memory, assigned the role of teacher, and instructed to administer electric shocks. The study revealed the immense power of authority figures to influence our behavior. Section 5. The Banality of Evil. Arendt's chilling observation of Adolf Eichmann. Hannah Arendt, a political theorist who covered the trial of Adolf Eichmann, a high-ranking Nazi official responsible for the logistics of the Holocaust, coined the phrase, the banality of evil. Arendt was struck by the ordinariness of Eichmann. He was not a monstrous sadist, but a seemingly unremarkable bureaucrat who carried out his duties with chilling efficiency. Eichmann's defense, like that of many other Nazi officials, was that he was simply following orders. Arendt argued that this banality of evil was perhaps the most terrifying aspect of the Holocaust. It suggested that evil was not perpetrated solely by monsters, but by ordinary people who were capable of compartmentalizing their actions, rationalizing their behavior, and surrendering their moral responsibility to the dictates of authority. The concept of the banality of evil is deeply unsettling because it challenges our simplistic notions of good and evil. Section 6. The Slippery Slope of Evil. Gradual Desensitization to Atrocities. The path to evil is rarely a sudden plunge into the abyss. More often, it is a gradual descent, a slippery slope where individuals are slowly desensitized to their own actions and the suffering they inflict on others. This process of moral disengagement, as psychologist Albert Bandura termed it, allows individuals to bypass their own moral scruples and engage in behavior they once considered unthinkable. One common tactic is the use of euphemisms and dehumanizing language. By referring to victims as collateral damage or undesirables, perpetrators can distance themselves from the human cost of their actions. Another mechanism is the gradual escalation of harm. Individuals are often more likely to obey orders that gradually increase in severity, as opposed to orders that demand a sudden and dramatic transgression of their moral boundaries. The slippery slope of evil is a cautionary tale about the dangers of complacency and the importance of recognizing the warning signs of moral disengagement. Section 7. Dehumanization, stripping away humanity, igniting cruelty. One of the most effective ways to facilitate cruelty is to strip victims of their humanity. Dehumanization is a psychological process by which individuals or groups are denied the qualities that make them human, such as empathy, compassion, and moral worth. Once dehumanized, victims are no longer seen as individuals deserving of respect and dignity, but as objects to be exploited, abused, or eliminated. Dehumanization can take many forms, from subtle forms of prejudice and discrimination to outright propaganda that portrays victims as vermin, insects, or diseases. The Stanford Prison Experiment provided a chilling illustration of the power of dehumanization. By recognizing the mechanisms of dehumanization, we can better combat its corrosive influence and foster a world where all individuals are recognized for their inherent dignity and worth. Section 8. Groupthink, conforming to evil under social pressure. The desire to belong is a powerful human motivator. We are social creatures, hardwired to seek acceptance and avoid isolation. While this desire for conformity can be a positive force, fostering cooperation and social harmony, it can also lead to disastrous consequences when individuals conform to group norms that are unethical or harmful. Groupthink, a term coined by psychologist Irving Janis, describes a phenomenon that occurs when groups prioritize consensus and conformity over critical thinking and ethical decision-making. In groupthink scenarios, individuals may suppress their own doubts, censor dissenting opinions, and go along with decisions they know to be wrong in order to maintain group harmony and avoid conflict. The dangers of groupthink are evident in numerous historical examples, from the Bay of Pigs invasion to the Challenger disaster. By fostering a culture of open communication, encouraging dissent, and valuing critical thinking, we can mitigate the risks of groupthink and promote ethical decision-making. Section 9. Moral disengagement, silencing the inner compass. Deep down, most individuals have a moral compass, a sense of right and wrong that guides their behavior. However, when confronted with situations that challenge their moral values, individuals may engage in moral disengagement, a process by which they deactivate their self-regulatory mechanisms and justify their unethical behavior. Moral disengagement can manifest in a variety of ways. Individuals may minimize the consequences of their actions, shift blame to victims or external circumstances, dehumanize victims, or appeal to higher loyalties to justify their behavior. By becoming aware of the mechanisms of moral disengagement, we can better resist its seductive pull and hold ourselves accountable for our actions. Section 10. From bystanders to perpetrators, the danger of inaction. The transformation from good to evil is not always a dramatic metamorphosis. Sometimes it is the result of inaction, of standing by passively while others suffer. The bystander effect, a well-documented phenomenon in social psychology, demonstrates the diffusion of responsibility that can occur when individuals witness an emergency or injustice in the presence of others. The more bystanders present, the less likely any one individual is to take action, assuming that someone else will intervene. By recognizing the bystander effect, we can overcome the diffusion of responsibility and cultivate a sense of moral courage that compels us to act, even when it is difficult or uncomfortable. Section 11. Recognizing the monster within. A call for vigilance and self-awareness. The journey into the heart of darkness, the exploration of the Lucifer effect, is not meant to instill fear or despair. It is a call to awareness, a plea for vigilance. By understanding the psychological processes that can transform ordinary individuals into perpetrators of evil, we can better equip ourselves to resist its seductive pull and create a world where such transformations are less likely to occur. It requires us to be vigilant to the subtle ways in which situational forces, social pressures, and psychological manipulation can shape our behavior. It requires us to cultivate moral courage, to resist the allure of conformity, and to speak out against injustice, even when it is uncomfortable or unpopular. The fight against evil is not a battle against monsters, but a battle against the forces that create them.